Yeah, but that there, that would have gone bang very soon.
Because it's leaked on here.
Oh, yep, that is bad. Just need to find a place to park this thing. Right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Here back in Coventry again. I'm going to continue with the K04 Swap with the GTI. The plan today is to hopefully take the turbo off and get to the main sort of gist of it. We did all the intercooler and the DV piping the other day, so you can go back and check part 1. It's just a video just before this. Alright, so here we are inside. GTI still here. First, we need to do a lot of disconnecting, so we'll get rid of the intake. Quick job. It depends on what intake you've got. This one already, most of it's off anyway, it's just there. We're going to remove these as well, this wiring harness for the coil packs. There's vacuum lines and also this heat shield as well. There's these cooler lines behind it. And yeah, you've got to disconnect the intercooler piping and also that outlet pipe there, if you can see. We also need to get the exhaust off as well. Again, attaches onto the turbo, so yeah, we did that in the few videos ago. Down pipe nuts are down there, so we might do a little montage or time lapse of everything just being removed, and then the more difficult bits or trickier bits I'll show you. What engine's in that?
What?
Is it a hybrid?
This? It is now. Dual fuel.
Dual fuel. Moves with that engine. Look at this strong man here. Alright, so intake's off, nothing too difficult. That's the turbo right down there, the little K03. What I want to do now is just want to get the lift up and remove the outlet pipe, and then we can sort of show you what's happening down there essentially. Much easier to see from this angle, so it's all very dirty, but it's essentially another version of what that is, as I already told you guys. So you got to get these Torx bolts out. This one looks a bit rusty, this one looks fairly new to be fair. That's the intercooler piping, which we of course changed in the last video because we put the Mark 6R intercooler. Daz has got these proper lights. No using a phone today for me. But yeah, so right up there, that's the turbo right there, where the lights point. So that, see that little black square thing, that's the divert valve that I changed when we first got the car. That's why it's quite new. But yeah, so that's going to go into, yeah, that little flange. It's rather than being attached to the turbo. First things first, let's get off that clamp again, quick release clamp, as you got on all of these bits. It's just like the clamp that we had on this, but it's right on the turbo. And you unconnect some of them wires as well. Some of you guys have been asking about the bushes. Powerflex anti-lift kit is on the car. Only those two have been put on the car. There is still a lot to put on because we've got the full handling kit from Powerflex, but yeah, we'll do a separate video on that. I have picked up some other handling parts as well, but this is purely about the turbo, so we'll just crack on with that. Right, so that quick release clip is off. You can just separate this from the turbo. Should just come out straight. There you go. As you can see, very familiar, just the end bit's black on this. As you can see, there's a bit more wider diameter on that one. This is very small compared. Put that there. We have also got to remove the Miltech again, like I said in the previous one where we put it on, because that is going straight onto the turbo through there. So yep, 4 downpipe nuts to take off again, but yep, pretty much a reversal of the previous video, so that bit will crack on quickly. And yeah, we'll remove these two to get rid of this little axle shield here, gives you a bit more access. Now there are a few ways to get the turbo out. You can't get out to the top. Normally you take off this and you can pull like a ratchet strap and move the engine slightly so you can pull it out from the top at the back. But Daz is just telling me that another way to do it is to pull it out from the bottom. We're going to undo these axle bolts here, and then we're going to take the wheel off. I know some of you guys have different ways of doing it, but I just want to see how it's done through this way because I haven't seen a single guide like this. Most of the guides have been taken out to the top. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, you gotta hold the wheel when you're doing this, or just head outside for a little quick break in between all of that. Edition 30. Got Fabia VRS as well, PD 130. What do you guys think of these? You can make decent power out of them, can't you? This one's very rusty, as we can see. But then again, these aren't much money these days, so you can get quick and fairly economical car as well, especially if you're like if you're new to driving and you want a car touch. One of these is good. This thing's still work in progress, as we can see. Getting there. Got a lay on over there with some S38P alloys on it. Yeah, just like a quick middle of the video reminder, if you do like these projects and you do like sort of this type of content, make sure you do subscribe. We're very close to 60k subs. In the last video we got good support as well, so definitely going to continue with this sort of thing. Of course, we've got plenty of different plans with the GTI to do once it's done. There are going to be more cars coming, that's 100%. I'm going to start looking very soon once the K04 is on and the cars are just mapped on. Yeah, we're going to start moving on to the next one and just keep them coming. Yeah, make sure you go down and click subscribe. Right, so all these M10s are loose. What we're going to do, I'm going to take the wheel off, take this lower control arm bit. As you guys remember, it's a bit of the headache we had last time, but should be easier now because this one's been replaced with a nut and bolt. And then there's going to be a center bolt as well. And then yeah, we'll basically pull this drive shaft out and then it'll make it a lot easier for us to do what we're going to do. As you can see, state of the suspension, very filthy, that's the best way to put it. These are going soon because there won't be enough for the power that we're going for. They're barely enough even on the standard GTI power. So I have picked up some brakes yesterday actually, but that'll be a video later in the week or probably next week. We'll see how it goes. I've already bought them and I just need to get the discs and pads, and yeah, we'll do a dedicated video for that. But yeah, let's get cracking with this and basically remove that. Now, so pull this out, as you can see, undone the control arm. So we've taken out the full drive shaft. Here it is. As you can see, nothing here attached onto there, so it's giving us a lot of room. This method, of course, we're going to drop the turbo out this way, and it actually isn't too hard to do, taking out this arm. And we've also undone this dog bone, so we're going to pull the engine forward slightly so it gives us a bit more room to play with. Easier access to the downpipe nuts as well, right there. So we'll take the full exhaust off now, and then yeah, we'll work on the stuff that's on the in the engine bay, which is all the coolant lines and whatnot. We've done an exhaust change quite a few times now on the channel, so you can check both times to do the decat and also the exhaust video you can see. So again, we'll skip ahead with that. But yeah, what I've done, I've undone all these brackets and stuff that hold the exhaust on. Got 3 of the downpipe nuts off. There's one that I can't quite get to from here, so we can just do it from the top. I know different guys have different ways of laying out stuff, but yeah, we're just going with the flow here. So yeah, let's get the car down. Got that one downpipe nut to get off. These wiring harnesses, the coil packs here. I've got a tool as well that you can use to pull these off easier. It's like a VAG removal tool, I'll show you now. So you can get one of these. I got it off eBay for like 2-3 quid. If you don't fancy pulling them off or shoving a pick in there, you can just literally go like that and pull them back. Most of the electrical connections have this type of connection, so you can just get this and make your life a lot easier. The MAF sensor one was already broken when I got the car. The amount of times someone shoved a screwdriver in there. There is sometimes screws here, but now I've noticed in the previous ownership, the whoever was working on the car has just snapped that off. But there we go. And then if you look down here, when we were undoing those clips down there by the turbo, this wiring harness, you basically pull it up from the top, it attaches there. And then you just pull this off. One of these, of course, is from the DV, so we're going to have the extension for the wiring loom because the DV is going to be here now. I've undone this Jubilee. I'm going to take these 2 off, of course, like venting hoses. They're going to go straight onto the turbo. Turbo's actually just there. Downpipe nuts all off. We're going to take this heat shield off as well. There is a coolant line attached to the back of it, I believe. Oh no, it's on the front here, so yeah, it's sort of stuck to it. We'll get these off. Alright, so exhaust is all out again. Probably the last time the exhaust is going to be off. I'm saying that, it's probably going to be off again. All empty, stood up against there. Just give an idea of how long the exhaust is when you take it off a car. There's a K04 exhaust back there, but here's mine. All the way up to here. Complete straight thing all the way to the back box. Okay, so we're just having a look at what we're going to do here. So we've got the oil return and feed lines. I'll go around this side so you can see a bit better. So this is the return line to the sump, you're saying? Yep. And then that's the feed. That's the feed. Feed right there. Okay. We've got some coolant lines here as well, isn't it, over here?
Yeah, one there, one at the top.
So we're basically going to detach these, and that's basically the next stage. But we also found out the turbo on the GTI is actually mashed up as well, from what Daz is telling me. And there's a crack on the housing there. Okay. So basically we that would have gone very soon. There's actually a proper, you can feel that crack, to be fair. So it probably explains why the car was whistling. Maybe anyway. There's a bit of oil there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty standard, to be fair.
So you're gonna get this bracket off first. But yeah, man, that thing is fully gone. So luckily we got to it in time. We got that fresh turbo, well, semi-fresh anyway.
Oh, Mike, thank you.
So we got one of these off, but one of them is snapped or something, so that's gonna cut it off. But yeah, we'll just do that and get back to this in a second. Right, so this bracket here, it normally has bolts welded onto it, so some guides they did say undo it and leave it, but yeah, we had some issues with it, so we ended up cutting it off. But it's just giving us more room to show you what we're going to do anyway. So I've got the light here. I'm going to take these lines off. Quite simple. It's Allen key style. Some of them are like M bits, so that one there on the side. And we've got a few others and whatever. But the plan is, I'm going to undo some of the manifold nuts there, where the spanner is hanging right now. So I'm going to undo those 4 there. The reason being is it's easier to undo them, because when we take these lines off I'm going to have stuff dripping down, so I'd rather just loosen them and then just pull them off, so at least I won't have to be spannering away with coolant leaking onto my arm. But yeah, we'll just get started with those, and yeah, basically then do these. Pretty straightforward so far. We're not going to undo from here because I'm going to have to, oil will spill out. We're going to undo this return line on there. Yeah, man, cracked turbo. So you can see in there the amount of coolant that's coming out. It literally drips for about 5 to 10 minutes, especially this one anyway. So yeah, make sure you got something covering your eyes if you're going to stand right below it. But yeah, everything's off. So this is off from here, straight off the turbo. This oil line here, we took it off the block instead. And then we've got this one here at the bottom, which we took off, where you can put the other washer on. So I think all that's left pretty much is the top manifold nut. So what we'll do, we'll get the car back down, and then we'll take the top ones off. You can get access because we took the heat shield off. And then yeah, the turbo's pretty much free, to be fair. Alright, so last bit, they're just back there. And they're like the other ones we took off at the bottom, so the same thing. I'm gonna put the camera down there. There you go, so you get 4 of them off, quite easy. And then the turbo should be free, to be fair. Right, so there's 5 manifold nuts at the top. I thought there was 4, but took out 4, then realised there's still 1 holding it on. So taking the last one off now, the turbo is pretty much loose. There is a coolant line here as well that I didn't do it before. Make sure you get that off from here. Plan now is to lift up the car, and yeah, we'll just drop out the turbo and have a look at it. Get an idea of this nearly 200,000 mile turbo. See how it looks. Yeah, it's actually just going up over here. There we go. K03. Right, so the turbo's finally out after all this time, these months of talking about K04 swaps and whatnot. You just gotta move it around, fiddle about with it, just get it out through here. Just these coolant lines are still dripping, so just be aware of that. It's still dripping. You can drop it out with one person if you know what you're doing, but it's good to have another set of eyes knowing which corners it's getting stuck on and whatnot. Might bring it on the light actually. Show the crack here. Big old crack here. So good job we are upgrading it. I'll actually get the K04 out now and show you it next to it. We have got to move some of these lines over and transfer them. Right, so here we go, got the K04 out the car just to show you comparison against the K03. On the camera, to be fair, you might not be able to tell. The condition on the K04 that we got is pretty good. I think the car it came off did about 60k miles, so it does look fairly clean. This thing's knackered. No point even selling this. On its way out. Right, so what I think we'll do, we'll end this part of the conversion here. We're going to put it all back together now and tomorrow, so over the next 2 days, but I think it'd be better if those are one separate video, like the first startup included and all put back together. So otherwise this video is going to be like 40 minutes long. So with this one, we'll end it here at the removal of the turbo. You got to see the condition of what our near 200,000 mile turbo is like. All original, nothing changed. Strangely enough, the top manifold nuts were quite loose. I don't know what the sketch with that was. But yeah, you saw you can take the turbo out to the bottom. Not all the guides are, you have to follow them religiously. There are different ways of doing it. I think this way is quite easy, to be fair, because it just dropped out. No need to ratchet any of the engine forward, nothing like that. Yeah, if you did enjoy it, do drop a like on the video. Also subscribe for a lot more content to come, and look out for the next few days. The next video will be up of the car hopefully having its first start. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys.